My name is Emily, and for the past decade, my life has felt like a mirror reflecting the same routine day after day. Each morning began with a familiar rhythm. The alarm clock buzzes, breaking the stillness of the morning. The aroma of warm coffee fills the kitchen, a comforting presence amidst the chaos. David, my husband, rushes about, glancing anxiously at his phone, the weight of the day ahead pulling him toward his job in downtown Santiago. As I stood there, the doorbell echoed in the silence, a haunting reminder of his departure, leaving me in solitude. David embodies goodness in his very essence. He is someone I can count on, never misreading my intentions, always putting in the effort and taking his responsibilities seriously. Yet, there's a part of him that feels so far away, almost unapproachable, leaving me with a sense of longing for warmth and connection. It feels as though his heart is solely devoted to his work, leaving little room for anything else. In those moments we share, our words often linger in the shadows, limited to what must be said, leaving so much unspoken between us. It feels like we are merely sharing a space rather than truly being partners in a marriage. For years, I convinced myself that this was just how it was, that this was the essence of married life. Yet, beneath the surface, a profound sense of invisibility lingered within me. Amidst everything happening around us, there stands Max, our beloved boxer dog, though in truth, he belongs to her. We welcomed him into our lives when he was just a tiny puppy, a decision made with the hope that he would protect our home. Yet, for me, Max was simply another beloved pet, a creature to cherish and care for. Honestly, I realize now that I never truly took the time to understand him. He was a gentle soul, a quiet presence that filled our home with a sense of calm. Most days, he would find solace in the garden, basking in the warmth of the sun, or curled up in his bed in the living room, lost in peaceful slumber. Max and I hardly exchanged a word. His heart raced with joy as David burst through the door, eager to greet him, yet my experience felt like a stark contrast. It felt as though he understood that in my reality, he was merely existing, not truly embracing life. And thus, the days slipped away, one after another. The house stood in perfect order, dinner meticulously prepared, yet within me there lingered an echo of silence that filled my heart. It's astonishing to realize how something so seemingly ordinary, like a simple dog, could shift everything I believed. I never imagined such a profound change could come from such a small creature. Yet, I was on the brink of realizing that Max would become so much more than just a pet. He became the one presence who truly understood me. It was a morning like any other, yet there was a quiet beauty in its simplicity. David had already left for work, just like any other day, and I found myself in the kitchen, staring at my cold coffee, lost in thought. The silence enveloped me, a heavy blanket that stifled any sense of comfort. Even the gentle whispers of the wind outside felt like a warm embrace, a stark contrast to the coldness of my own home. A profound sense of presence enveloped me. Max was there, perched at the kitchen door, gazing at me with those eyes that held a serenity I hadn't experienced in what felt like an eternity. There was a profound silence. He remained still, devoid of any sound. He stood there, gazing at me with an intensity that suggested he grasped feelings I struggled to articulate. For a fleeting moment, I felt the urge to turn away from him, yet his gaze held a depth that compelled me to pause. I found myself lingering in silence, my heart heavy with the weight of uncertainty as I tried to unravel the mystery of his actions. Could it be that he truly understood the depths of my emotions? I found myself laughing deeply, a joyful shake of my head echoing the delight within me. He is just a dog, Emily. Please, let's not be absurd. Yet, in a moment that caught everyone off guard, Max took an unexpected turn. He rose with a deliberate slowness, making his way to me and softly rested his head against my leg. I found myself frozen in place, uncertainty wrapping around me like a heavy blanket, leaving me at a loss for what to do next. In that moment, I realized I had never experienced a bond like this with him before. As my hand gently brushed over his head, an unexpected sensation washed over me, a whisper of reassurance that echoed in my heart, reminding me that I was not alone in this moment. That gesture, so simple in its nature, held a profound significance in that fleeting moment, resonating deeply within me. In the aftermath of that day, I found myself becoming acutely aware of the subtle details that had previously slipped through my fingers, like whispers in the wind. Each time I found myself sinking into the familiar embrace of the sofa, Max would choose a spot just a few steps away, his presence a quiet testament to the unspoken bond we shared in those moments of stillness. On those difficult days, when my tears felt like an ocean I could hardly hold back, I would find him there, lying quietly by the door of my room. His presence was a gentle reminder that he understood the weight of my heart and was willing to wait, offering solace in his silent companionship. It felt surreal, as if the universe had conspired to surprise me. I had no expectations of him, yet he poured out his heart, a stark contrast to my experiences with David, who never seemed to offer the same depth. With Max, there was an unwavering presence that enveloped me, free from conditions and demands, a pure connection that resonated deeply within my soul. It felt like he truly recognized my essence. In a realm where I often felt unseen, he truly noticed me. I found myself grappling with a question that had long lingered in the shadows of my mind, one that I had never mustered the courage to confront. Could it be that a dog might offer me something that my husband has not provided in such a long time? And if that were the case, what would it signify for me? A heavy knot tightened in my chest, an undeniable weight of emotion that I couldn't shake off. For so long, I overlooked the deep desires within me until Max gently illuminated the truth I had been avoiding. That morning with Max lingered in my mind, an echo of emotions I couldn't shake off. A warmth enveloped me, a sensation so genuine, yet it carried with it an undercurrent of fear that was hard to ignore. It's merely a dog, isn't it? I tried to convince myself that my feelings were blown out of proportion, that it was irrational to experience such emotions. Yet, each time Max gazed at me or drew near with that serene demeanor, it felt as though a part of me shattered and mended simultaneously. It overwhelmed me, and I couldn't shake the feeling of foolishness for placing so much significance on his actions. What was unfolding within me? I made an effort to shift my attention to other matters, just as I had always done in the past. As I washed the dishes and organized the house, a profound silence enveloped me, its weight almost suffocating. And the truth lay not just in the stillness of the house, but in the profound silence that enveloped my life, echoing through my relationship with David. Everything felt hollow, as if trapped in an unending loop. I prepared the meal. He immersed himself in his tasks, and when we finally gathered at the same table, it felt as though an ocean separated us. I felt the need to find a reason for it. He often reminded me that David is occupied, burdened with countless responsibilities. But what about my own feelings and needs? Did I not hold significance in your world? When did we start to drift apart like this? A wave of fear washed over me at the thought of my ignorance, and then there was Max, a beacon in the uncertainty. That dog, in what felt like an instant, brought me a sense of fulfillment I had been yearning for throughout the years. Yet, deep down, I found myself struggling to embrace the reality of it all. I found myself unable to do it. For if I were to acknowledge it, it would signify that there was a deeper turmoil within my existence. It was a truth that weighed heavily on my heart, something I could no longer push aside. I found myself seeking distractions, trying to fill the silence with activity. I made an effort to push those thoughts away, hoping to find some peace within myself. Yet the fear lingered, a constant shadow in the depths of my mind. What if it were truly the case? What if my happiness was tied so deeply to something that David was unable to provide? Yet Max did. It's merely a dog. He echoed those words to me, yet beneath the surface, he understood that it was far more complex than that. Max was never the issue. He reflected back to me all the voids I had yet to acknowledge in my existence. One afternoon, I found myself on the couch, gazing out the window, yet my mind drifted far beyond the view, lost in a haze of thoughts and feelings that seemed to blur the world outside. That day unfolded just like countless others before it. With David gone, the house felt eerily quiet, and my mind swirled with unspoken thoughts that I was too afraid to confront. In that moment, I experienced a profound sensation. Max had made his way to the couch. A moment of quiet comfort that settled over us, of solace in the midst of everything. It was a moment that caught him off guard, a departure from the norm that left an echo of uncertainty in its wake. He nestled beside me, his head gently resting on my leg, a moment of quiet comfort that settled over us, that felt both tender and profound. I found myself frozen in place, taken aback by the unexpected kindness. As I gazed at him, a profound realization washed over me. For the first time, he was no longer just a dog in my eyes. I encountered a presence that truly supported me. I gently caressed his head, and in that moment of serene connection, he responded with a calm that mirrored my emotions, that felt both profound and comforting. It felt like a gentle release, a softening of the heaviness that had settled within me, even if only for a fleeting moment. In that moment, a warmth enveloped me, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, I sensed a connection that eased the weight of solitude. Max remained silent, his lips sealed, his curiosity unvoiced, and his desires unexpressed. He stood before me, a quiet presence, extending a gift I hadn't realized was missing from my life. In the realm of our company, there lies a profound sense of understanding. A warmth enveloped me, a sensation I had long since forgotten, and in that moment I found myself lost in contemplation. How can it be that a dog stirs such profound emotions within me? Why is it so elusive to find this peace with David? That question lingered in my mind, a spark that gradually shed light on all the things I had been overlooking. In that fleeting moment of relief that Max offered, I couldn't help but wonder if perhaps he wasn't the sole bearer of the answers I sought. Perhaps the most significant question wasn't centered on Max at all, but rather on my own journey and understanding. That afternoon in the armchair marked a turning point. Something within me shifted, leaving an indelible mark on my heart. After so many years, a stirring within me urged for change, a longing to escape the confines of a routine that had ensnared my spirit. And so, in a moment of quiet contemplation, I chose to begin this journey with Max. The following day, I gently grasped his leash, feeling a mix of anticipation and nostalgia, and led him for a walk in the familiar embrace of the nearby park. In the beginning, it felt almost insignificant. He ambled beside me, his curious nose exploring every scent that crossed his path, while I continued onward, enveloped in a quiet contemplation. Yet, as time passed, I found myself becoming increasingly aware of something profound. Max found joy not just in the walk itself, but in the warmth of my presence beside him. Each time my gaze fell upon him, he would glance up, as if seeking reassurance that everything was all right within him. As the days passed, those walks transformed into the most cherished moments of my day. It felt like our own little world, a sanctuary meant solely for him and for me. There was no need for me to articulate my emotions or defend my quietude. Max existed in that moment, a quiet presence that lingered in the air. In the beginning, I found myself speaking to him in a way that felt awkward and uncertain, as if I were losing my mind for conversing with a dog. Yet, in truth, those conversations transformed into a source of healing for me. Today, Max, I found a glimmer of connection that made me feel a bit less isolated. One afternoon, as we strolled beneath the warm embrace of the sun, I shared my thoughts with him. In that moment, even without my words, his gaze spoke volumes, conveying a deep understanding that transcended language itself. Gradually, these small moments awakened a feeling within me that I had long since forgotten: pure, unadulterated joy. I started to see the subtle details that had once slipped through my fingers, lingering in the shadows of my awareness. Inhale deeply, feeling the crispness of the air envelop me as the gentle rustle of leaves whispers secrets of nature. The sun's embrace warms my skin, a tender reminder of life's simple joys. It was the simplest of things that breathed life back into my weary soul. Upon returning home and laying eyes on David, I was struck by an overwhelming sense of difference. In the moments when Max enveloped me with his attention, companionship, and warmth, I couldn't help but notice that David stayed unchanged, a constant presence in the backdrop of my life. He seemed so far away, lost in the glow of his phone or the flickering images on the TV, as if the world around him had faded into nothingness. The pain of recognizing this contrast weighed heavily on my heart, yet I found myself unable to turn a blind eye to it any longer. Max had transformed into something far beyond just a pet. He held a special place in my heart, a true confidant in whom I could trust completely. And in so many ways, it has become my sanctuary. Even though I couldn't grasp it completely, I felt deep down that those walks held a significance beyond just his needs. They were meant for me. As the atmosphere shifted within the walls of their home, David began to sense the subtle yet profound changes unfolding around him. One quiet night, as we sat together in our familiar silence, he set down his fork on the plate and turned his gaze toward me. "What is it that draws you to spend so many moments outside with the dog?" He asked in a tone that left me feeling uncertain, caught between the realms of curiosity and annoyance, unsure of how to respond to the unspoken emotion swirling in the air. I lifted my gaze, taken aback by the unexpected question. It was rare for him to show any interest in my pursuits. "There's something so comforting about walking beside him," I replied, attempting to keep my voice light. Yet, deep down, I sensed there was a deeper meaning lurking behind his question. With each passing day, the weight of unspoken feelings and unresolved conflicts seemed to intensify. David started to share his thoughts more often, each remark carrying a weight that seemed to linger in the air. "It feels like your focus is on Max, leaving me feeling a bit overlooked. He's more than just a dog, Emily. He's a companion, a friend, a part of our lives that brings warmth and joy. It's hard to see him as anything less. It truly baffles me how much significance you place on him." His words pierced through me, leaving a sting that resonated deeply. Yet in that pain, I found a clarity that I had long avoided. David and I felt a chasm between us, deeper than it had ever been. And it was clear that Max was not the cause of this distance. In spite of the disagreements that lingered in the air, I found solace in my walks and cherished the quiet moments spent with Max. As the days unfolded, I couldn't shake the feeling that a quiet strength was blossoming within me, growing more profound with each moment that passed. It wasn't only Max who brought comfort to my heart, it was the essence of what those moments truly embodied. It's a moment for me, a chance to find my breath, to release the weight of feeling confined. There was an afternoon that lingers in my memory, heavy and challenging. Before David left for work, we found ourselves caught in a disagreement, a moment that lingered in the air between us. A profound emptiness washed over me, as though his words had siphoned away every ounce of my energy. Yet there was Max, gazing at me with a serene assurance that whispered, "Don't worry, I'm here for you." As I brought him to the park, a familiar routine unfolded, yet in that moment, watching him dash through the carpet of fallen leaves, a wave of emotion washed over me, something I hadn't experienced in what felt like an eternity. Such a profound sense of relief washes over me, enveloping my being in a gentle embrace. It's as if the weight of the world has been lifted, leaving behind a tranquil stillness that resonates deep within my soul. In that moment of realization, a wave of relief washed over me. I grasped the truth that I wasn't shattered beyond repair. Instead, I discovered that even the tiniest fragments of joy could still illuminate my path. Max remained my greatest ally, my unwavering constant in a world that often felt uncertain. Each subtle gesture of his, whether it was the gentle sway of his tail or the comforting way he settled beside me, served as a poignant reminder that even amidst the toughest days, there existed a glimmer of hope and worthiness. That night weighed heavily on my heart. David and I had hardly exchanged a word throughout the day, and when I finally mustered the courage to reach out, he responded with nothing more than a distant gesture, retreating into the glow of his phone, leaving me feeling more alone than ever. I entered the room, my heart heavy with an unsettling knot in my chest. The ache of loneliness, a sensation that had become all too familiar, weighed heavily on my heart. As I perched on the edge of the bed, a wave of emotion washed over me, and I felt the tears start to cascade down my cheeks. It was something deeper, a quiet ache that lingered in the shadows of my heart. It was that profound emptiness that gradually envelops you, leaving you feeling lost and adrift, a haunting reminder of all that is absent. In that moment, the soft echo of his footsteps reached my ears, stirring something deep within me. With a tender nudge, Max opened the door, and in that moment, he stepped forward with unwavering trust, making his way towards me. He settled at my feet, gazing up at me just as he always did, his eyes filled with a depth of understanding that felt almost otherworldly. Though I remained silent, he seemed to grasp the unspoken words that lingered between us. He rose from his seat and made his way to bed, a gesture so rare for him, one that usually required a gentle nudge or a soft request. That small gesture stirred something deeply emotional within me. I embraced him with all my strength, allowing the tears to stream down without restraint. As I gently caressed him, an overwhelming wave of gratitude washed over me, intertwined with a deep, aching pain that left me feeling lost and unsure of how to navigate my emotions. Max found himself in a silence that felt heavy, words trapped within him, unable to escape. He was unable to assure me that everything would turn out all right, yet the essence of his being spoke volumes. In that fleeting moment, I came to understand the depth of my need for this connection. It was astonishing how something as simple as his presence was becoming a lifeline for me, a source of strength in my struggle to endure. I remained there, wrapped in his embrace, with a thought that lingered stubbornly in my mind. What is it about my connection with him that feels so different from what I share with David? It was a question that filled me with fear. It was a moment of clarity, a whisper of understanding that resonated deep within me. I felt the weight of certainty, as if the truth had been waiting patiently for me to acknowledge it. What Max offered me transcended mere gestures. It was the very thing I had been yearning for throughout the years. There's a profound sense of warmth that envelops us, a gentle reminder of the attention we crave and the unconditional love that nurtures our very souls. In that dimly lit room, a profound realization washed over me as if a long buried part of my soul was finally shattering into pieces. I could no longer silence the whispers of my heart, urging me to listen and reflect on its truth. David was not the source of the issue, and Max did not hold the answer. It was the absence that weighed heavily on my heart, a void that had lingered far too long, leaving me to ponder its significance. The following days and that night felt profoundly different. A spark ignited within me, illuminating the depths of my being. In that moment, I found myself grappling with a profound feeling that was both courageous and resigned. It was a force that resonated deeply within me, undeniable and intense. One afternoon, as I stirred a pot of dinner, my hands moved almost on their own, while my thoughts drifted far away, lost in a world of reflection. As I reflect on the last few months, I find myself deeply moved by how Max illuminated a part of my life that I believed was forever lost. To experience the profound sensation of being truly seen, genuinely heard, and deeply loved, it's not in the words we speak or the grand gestures we make, but rather in the simple, authentic presence we offer to one another. In the stillness of that kitchen, I finally embraced a truth I had long evaded, a realization that had lingered in the shadows of my heart for years. My marriage has crumbled into pieces. David had his own virtues, yet he fell short of being the person I truly needed in my life. His emotional absence created a profound emptiness within me, one that I didn't fully comprehend for some time. It was as if a part of my soul was missing, quietly influencing my heart and mind without my awareness. Yet, in that moment of clarity brought forth by Max, I found myself unable to turn away any longer. Max showed me the true essence of unconditional love. In his presence, I find a rare solace, an absence of expectations, a gentle release from reproaches, and a freedom from demands. He stands by me, offering a gift I never believed I was worthy of receiving. His moments, his presence, his compassion. As I came to terms with this truth, a deep ache settled within me, a painful acknowledgement of how distant David was from offering me the same in return. It became impossible for me to continue turning a blind eye to him. This emptiness was not Max's doing, nor could it be filled with leisurely strolls or tranquil moments. It was a more profound issue, one that stirred something within me. A fissure that had silently deepened over the years, now laid bare before me, impossible to mask with mere justifications. As I rested against the doorframe, my gaze lingered on David from the kitchen, a moment suspended in time. A wave of sorrow washed over me as I witnessed his profound disconnection, a stark reminder of everything we once shared. Confronting this reality filled me with a profound sense of urgency, as I realized it would require a total transformation of my existence. Yet, deep down, I felt the weight of the moment pressing upon me, a realization that this was truly a crossroads. Either I embraced it now, or it would slip away forever. I found it impossible to continue overlooking my deep yearning for love, for connection, for that vibrant feeling of truly being alive once more. After what felt like an eternity, I finally found the courage to confront the truth of my existence. In the quiet moments of reflection, I realized that there was a profound lesson I had gleaned from Max. True love is not desperate. It does not linger in uncertainty or seek fulfillment in the wrong places. True love exists in its purest form, unadorned and genuine. That was the very essence of my dreams, the vision I held close to my heart for my life. In the days that followed, a profound transformation started to unfold within me. In the moment I embraced the reality of my marriage and confronted my true desires, a profound clarity washed over me, one that had eluded me for so long. For the first time, a realization washed over me. The issue extended far beyond just David. I came to realize that the issue lay within myself, the part of me that I lost somewhere on this journey, a version I once cherished but left behind. In my quest for order, I poured countless hours into maintaining a sense of control over everything around me, to ensure that the house felt just right, to meet all the expectations placed upon me. I can't shake the feeling that I let something significant slip through my fingers. the essence of my joy. My feelings run deep, my desires and longings. Max had revealed something to me in a manner that no one else ever could. One morning, as we strolled beneath the vast, clear sky, I paused to gaze at him. He turned his head towards me, his ears perked with awareness, and his eyes radiated a profound sense of tranquility. I found myself kneeling down. Thank you, Max. Your support means so much to me. Your unwavering support means the world to me, and I am deeply grateful for your belief in me during my toughest moments, for revealing to me that the capacity to feel still resides within me. I realize that there is still room for transformation within me. In that fleeting moment, a profound realization washed over me, compelling me to embrace change and seek a different path. It had transcended the mere question of whether David and I could salvage our marriage. I found myself grappling with a profound question. Could I truly save myself? I felt deep within me that I was worthy of something greater, something genuine. And I realized I could no longer silence the cries of my heart. He became a steady guide through my emotional fog, illuminating the path ahead, the bridge that led me back to my true self. As I observed him darting joyfully among the scattered leaves, a profound realization washed over me. I knew that this would be the path I would take next. In my quest for completeness, I pondered whether it would be alongside David or in solitude. Have you ever experienced the depths of emotion that I have? Have you discovered solace in someone or something you never anticipated? Much like Max. I would be truly grateful to hear your story in the comments. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to show your appreciation by liking it, subscribing to the channel, and activating the little bell. This way, you won't miss out on more heartfelt stories like this one. Your support truly touches my heart and inspires me to keep sharing content that resonates with you. Engaging in a conversation with David felt like navigating through a storm, each word heavy with the weight of my emotions. One evening, after we had shared a meal, I rose from my seat and gently invited him to sit down for a conversation. In the beginning, it felt as though he dismissed my presence, as if my words held no weight in his eyes. He seemed lost in his thoughts, as he often was. Yet this time he was determined to confront the conversation head on, leaving no room for me to shy away. "Oh, David!" I spoke to him, my voice quivering with emotion. "It's time for us to have a conversation. I'm overwhelmed by the weight of my circumstances. It's becoming unbearable to continue in this way. In this moment, I find myself enveloped in a profound sense of solitude, and it weighs heavily on my heart. It feels as though the efforts I once believed in are slipping away, leaving me questioning everything." He gazed upward, a flicker of unease crossing his features. "Could you help me understand what you mean? What is the origin of all this?" His voice wavered, caught in a delicate dance between disbelief and irritation, leaving a lingering weight in the air. I opened my heart to him, sharing my thoughts with sincerity, embracing the truth while choosing not to cast blame. It was a moment of vulnerability where honesty met compassion. I poured out my heart, sharing the deep sense of emptiness that our disconnection had created in my life. It was through Max that I started to truly understand the weight of this realization. His reaction caught me off guard, leaving me to ponder the depths of my own expectations. Could this be a result of the dog's presence? He expressed himself with a wave of exasperation. "Are you truly suggesting that an animal brings you more joy than I do?" In that fleeting moment, a part of me yearned to retreat, to let the conversation linger in the air, untouched and unresolved. Yet I found the strength to stay, to push forward despite the weight of uncertainty. In that moment, I felt a deep sense of significance in our conversation, even if he couldn't grasp my words. It was a pivotal exchange, one that resonated not just between us, but profoundly within me. "It's not about Max, David." This time, I responded with a greater sense of conviction. It's the profound understanding he brought to light for me. We must seek a path to reclaim what has slipped through our fingers, if it still exists in some form. Yet, if we remain passive, nothing will ever transform. David sat in silence, the weight of unspoken words heavy in the air, unsure of how to break the stillness that enveloped him. The response was far from uplifting, yet it also lacked a clear rejection. In that moment, his silence spoke volumes, revealing a depth of thought and emotion that I could sense. It was enough for me, a quiet understanding between us, a shared space where words were not necessary. In that moment, Max remained my steadfast anchor, grounding me amidst the chaos. That night, after our heartfelt conversation, I discovered him, as he always did, patiently waiting for me beside the bed. As he gently stroked his head, a deep understanding washed over me. The journey he was about to embark on would be fraught with challenges. Yet in that moment of realization, I found a flicker of hope within me, a profound understanding that I possessed the resilience to face whatever lay ahead. Each step unfolds slowly, a gentle reminder to embrace the journey ahead. The days that came after our conversation didn't transform into something extraordinary, yet there was an undeniable shift within me. David and I began to engage in deeper conversations, yet we approached them with caution, as if we were gently wading into the unfamiliar depths of a relationship we once knew but had since lost our way in. Amidst the lingering, uncomfortable silences and the palpable moments of distance, there were also tender, albeit small, advances that hinted at hope. Yet there was an undeniable shift within me. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, David sensed a shift within himself. He realized that my happiness was no longer tethered solely to his actions or inactions. Because of Max, I discovered something truly essential. My well being rests solely in my own hands. Max remained my steadfast companion, my anchor during those moments when uncertainty threatened to creep back in. His ever watchful gaze and unwavering tranquility served as a poignant reminder that I had discovered something truly precious: the bravery it takes to truly reach within and embrace my own being. I began to embrace experiences that once felt out of reach. I poured my heart into nurturing myself, finding solace in the pages of books and the gentle rhythm of my footsteps. There is so much more to life than just the walks with Max.